friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aireonna, and some breaking NFC West news. The Seattle Seahawks just signed Cooper Kupp. So, the Seahawks are kind of confusing me because last season they were kind of in contention for the playoffs. They went 1-1 against the 49ers, but they ended up the season strong and really could have told themselves like, hey, we're going to really make a push. We're going to get guys in free agency, we're going to draft well and try to compete next year. And instead it seemed like they were kind of tearing it down. They traded Geno Smith to the Raiders. They traded DK to the Steelers. And I was a bit confused because I was like, okay, I guess they're tearing it down. But then they signed Sam Darnold, who I think is around the same caliber as Geno Smith. Geno Smith might be slightly better, but I think they're in the same tier. They're quarterbacks that on a really great team with all pros around them are going to look good, and on a bad team, they're not going to be able to elevate their team. They need the help around them. Geno Smith might be a little bit more mobile, but Sam Darnold, it was over $10 million, over $10 million? Yeah, dollars cheaper per year. So they had some assets they had some money that they could go spend on assets in free agency. Then, like I said, they moved off of DK. Now he did request a trade, so maybe they weren't planning on doing that. But once you have a disgruntled wide receiver, it's best to move on from them, as the 49ers have learned. So they went out, they signed Cooper Kupp off the street for a 3-year, $45 million deal, which is $15 per year. If you think of, 2021 Cooper Kupp, that's obviously a steal. But if you think about the fact that at this point, he is 31 years old, he's been injury riddled, and he's more like a number 2 wide receiver who can't really get open that well. 15 is almost an overpay, or it may be exactly like what you should be paying a number 2 wide receiver. So, but I don't think you go out and sign him if you're not trying to compete this year, because he's only going to get older. He's already 31. I'm thinking you're getting him with the expectation that you're trying to win now. Like if you're just trying to rebuild and get younger, you wouldn't go out and pick up a 31-year-old. Now, to be fair, in 2021, he was, the best player in maybe football, not even as a wide receiver, but just incredible. He had 1,900 yards receiving. He had this triple crown. He only got better in the playoffs. He absolutely killed it in the playoffs and then ended up winning Super Bowl MVP when the Rams went on to win the Super Bowl that year. However, ever since, and this isn't horrible, like for a number 2 wide receiver, number 3 wide receiver, this is fine, but compared to those numbers, in the last 3 seasons, he's averaged 700 yards per season. And a lot of that is due to injury. Like when he was on the field, he's been productive, but he hasn't played a full season since that, 2021 season. He struggled with injuries. And I feel like Matthew Stafford is a quarterback that makes the most out of his receivers. So going from Matthew Stafford to Sam Darnold is definitely a downgrade in that situation as well. PFF, I don't think it's the end all be all, but last year, because like I said, he wasn't completely trashed last year. It's not awful. He's just not, elite. If we think of Cooper Kupp being like really, really good, he's just been like good. He's like he's similar to Juwan Jennings. They have a different skill set, but I mean like Jennings might even be better now, to be fair. If you're a 49ers fan, I mean, I think Jennings is underrated, but, PFF ranked him out of 98 receivers total. He was ranked 49th. So, middle to bottom. Like I said, number 2 wide receiver. Do I think this, takes the Seahawks to the next level? No, but I do think it clues us in on they're not, tanking. They're not rebuilding. You don't go out and get a guy like this if you don't think you're trying to make a push to at least make the playoffs, which means that they're trying to beat the 49ers. And the way that I look at it, like maybe in other games, going from DK to Cooper Kupp is a huge downgrade because I know that the league sees DK highly. But against the 49ers, DK has always taken himself out of the game. It's like so a mental issue for him. And like Robert Saleh was able to go in a press conference once and kind of like hint that he was going to tell his linebackers to really focus on DK's legs, and it just took DK out of it. Charvarius Ward used to make fun of how he could just taunt DK, like just talk to him, and he would get in his head and DK would stop. Like, DK is so much bigger and can run so much faster than Charvarius Ward, but Charvarius Ward was able to keep up with him because DK was, like, totally out of the game and, like, focused on arguing with Charvarius Ward, and then that he would take himself out of the game. Deommodore Lenoir has been able to follow in Ward's footsteps and do something similar. So at least against the 49ers, when I'm talking about, like, what is the Seattle Seahawks signing Cooper Kupp have to, how does that impact the 49ers? I don't necessarily think Cooper Kupp is a huge downgrade. Like, maybe in their other games he will be, but DK did not perform against the 49ers, especially the last couple of years under Geno Smith. So I definitely don't think Cooper Kupp or any Rams player is scared of the 49ers. I think they feel like they're right there. I mean, the last couple matchups, the Rams have completely dominated the 49ers. The Rams, won that Super Bowl and during a year that they had to beat the 49ers to get there. So in the playoffs, it, eliminated the 49ers season. So I don't think Cooper Kupp is going to have the mental baggage that DK has. He obviously, is more injury prone, totally different, matchups, but I kind of find it fun. I'm not crazy on Cooper Kupp. He didn't really make an impact in the 2 wins that the Rams had last year against the 49ers. That was mostly Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua really killing the 49ers, less so Cooper Kupp. They kind of locked up Cooper Kupp. So maybe it won't make an impact at all, and the 49ers will be able to sweep the Seahawks this year. But I don't completely doubt that they are at least trying to be competitive. Sam Darnold beat the 49ers last year, obviously on a much better team, that Vikings team. But I'm interested. This sparks my interest to know that the Seahawks aren't just throwing in the towel and giving up. And I think at least mentally, Cooper Kupp is going to have the edge over the 49ers that DK absolutely did not have. And it'll be interesting to see what Sam Darnold can get out of him and if that offensive line in Seattle is still absolutely horrible, because that will obviously affect both the receiver and the quarterback. But yeah, that's my update. I thought it was interesting since this is, an NFC West to NFC West move, going from one NFC West team to another. 49ers still going to have to face Cooper Kupp. Luckily, he's, not to be mean to him, but nowhere near what he was in 2021, because that made him such a weapon to face. He's not that much of a weapon anymore, but I do think it makes the Seahawks interesting, and it makes what they're doing this year and their plan interesting. So anyways, make sure to give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'll be going live tomorrow to kind of discuss all of the free agency signings and losses that the 49ers have had, some comments made by company man Greg Papa. He's hired by the 49ers, and he was basically on the radio shopping Christian McCaffrey, saying the 49ers were open to trading Christian McCaffrey. So if it's one team that is having a for sale and kind of phoning it in and giving it up this season, it is not the Seahawks, it is the 49ers, which as a fan makes me very disappointed. But we'll recap all of that tomorrow. I just wanted to give you this news since I thought, it affects the 49ers. So thank you. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Bye.